Hello, my name is Marjorie Peronto. I'm an extension professor with the University of Maine Cooperative Extension. And today we're going to learn about how to prune a flowering crabapple tree. Crabapples are a group of landscape trees that are very popular in Maine for their 4 seasons of ornamental interest. The canopy of a crabapple tree can become crowded with age, leaving it susceptible to foliar diseases and structural problems. With a moderate amount of pruning each year, you can decrease the likelihood of health problems and extend the life of your tree. The best time to prune a crabapple tree is in the late winter, just before spring growth starts. It's easier to make pruning decisions at this time because you have an unobstructed view of the branches, and the wounds will quickly heal as soon as spring growth starts. Our objective when pruning a mature crabapple tree is to open up the crown for good air movement and light penetration while retaining the tree's natural shape. A basic guideline is to prune no more than 25% of the total canopy in any given year. If you have a mature tree that has never been pruned, resist the temptation to go in and clean it all up in 1 year. Instead, plan to thin out the canopy in stages over a span of several years. So what should you look for when pruning your crabapple? Water sprouts are fast-growing upright shoots that have a weak connection to the branch from which they grow. Here we have some water sprouts growing up into the center of the crown of this tree. These should be removed when they're young. If they're left to grow and mature, they will congest the crown of the tree. Crabapples also have a tendency to send up vigorous shoots from the base, called suckers. These should be removed as they drain energy from the tree. Take these out every year. In addition to water sprouts and suckers, remove dead wood, badly damaged wood, and wood that has succumbed to disease. Continue thinning out the canopy by removing branches that are directed inward towards the trunk of the tree. These shade and crowd the crown of the tree. Lastly, look carefully through the interior of the tree for crossing, rubbing branches. As these branches grow in diameter, they rub against each other, creating wounds that make them susceptible to infection. Catch these problems when the branches are young, before wounds develop. Deciding which branch needs to go can be difficult, but it needs to be done. Think about your main objective of keeping the canopy of the tree open, and look at the overall character of the tree. Walk around the tree, look at it from all directions, and then make your pruning decisions. Take time and be slow and deliberate as you prune. When you are removing a small to medium-sized branch, locate the swollen area of bark at the point of attachment to a parent branch or to the trunk. This area is called the branch bark ridge and the branch collar. Cut the branch off just outside the bark ridge and the branch collar. The bark ridge and the branch collar form a natural protection zone that compartmentalizes the wound and promotes healing. If you have to remove a limb that has some weight to it, use a 3-step approach to prevent the bark from tearing. First, undercut the branch about 1/4 of the way through, about 1 to 2 feet from your final cut. Next, saw downward into the branch a couple of inches out from your first cut. The weight of the branch will cause it to fall, but the undercut will prevent the bark from tearing. After the branch falls, make the final cut based on the location of the branch bark ridge and the branch collar. If you wish to reduce the length of an older branch, but not cut it off in its entirety, where you make your cut should not be an arbitrary decision. Find a healthy lateral shoot that is growing in a pleasing direction and cut the branch back to there. To reduce the length of a younger branch, cut it back to just beyond an outward-facing bud. That bud will develop into a branch that grows in the direction in which the bud is pointed. After your tree leaves out, if it's pruned well, it should be difficult to tell that it's been pruned. The canopy should be open, and the branches that remain should accentuate the tree's structural beauty and show off its natural habit. For more information about pruning, visit the University of Maine Cooperative Extension's website.